All right. Are you ready? Let's do this thing. Well, hello. Hi there. Welcome. Click down there so you can hear me. And do me a favor, if you would, please, and that is check in. Let me know who you are and where you are a deplorable from. I'd like to say hi. And just kind of check in. It's been a little while. Not doing a long show today. But I don't know about you, but the wall-to-wall coverage of John McCain's passing, while sad, you never want to see anybody pass away. You never want to see anybody pass away from brain cancer. It has the coverage fit the man. I want to get your take on that here. So sign in, check in. Do me a favor also, would you please? Today's program is being powered by the nice folks at Right Wing News and Liberty One TV. We are also sponsored tonight by the wonderful people at Virtual Shield. Virtual Shield, the easiest to use and the fastest VPN in the world. You don't want anybody to be looking at your browsing history, do you, and then selling it? Well, that's what happens by your internet provider, most likely, unless you have Virtual Shield. So go to virtualshield.com/Rusty. See what a VPN can do for you. It's very easy to use. It's not expensive. But man, it can save you a lot of headaches and a lot of possible embarrassment. But do yourself a favor. Go there right now and sign up if you would. Uh-oh, my battery's dying. Let's see here. Kara is there. Mel is in Houston. Randy is there. Steven is there. Michael is there. Rose, Tammy, Diane, hello. Gerald, Jesse. Jesse? Why can't I find me a woman like that? I don't know. Your girl. I'm just saying. Anyway. Tim, get off my phone. Get off my phone. Tim's an old angry man. He doesn't like it that I'm on his phone. Hey, Tim, I'm looking at you. You know what I did? I searched the internet, Tim, and I looked just for you so I could find you and annoy you. So you might want to go and get the tinfoil hat, and I'll try to make sure. Well, I'm going to keep trying to get into your head. And the medicine and whatever else you have, good luck. But that tinfoil hat, good luck with it. All right, Frank is there. Willie is there. Dakota's in Kansas. David is a deplorable from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Chris is there, deplorable from New Hampshire. Anthony, David, Nell, Christian, Beverly, Patty, Thomas, Stephen, Barbara, Donnell, Ernestine, Terry, Thomas checking in from Oregon, John and Jeff and Dan. Okay. Vernon's there too. Lee is deplorable in California. Kara's there too. All right. I have been struggling with how to handle this. I don't want to say just for days since he's passed. I've been struggling on how to handle this for the year, knowing that he was going to die. You say, I don't want to say anything bad about anyone who's passed away. And I wasn't going to say anything at all. One of the things I was going to say was, if you can't say anything nice about anybody, don't say anything at all. So I was going to say, well, I hear John McCain had a really nice, expensive ranch about an hour north of me in Sedona. And I was going to leave it at that. And then, now I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this, the Forrestal. I don't know if that one's true or not. I don't. I have a hard time believing that he would have dropped a bomb on a ship and nothing happened. I hear conflicting reports. So I'm not going to talk about that at all. But I am going to, and I wasn't going to talk about anything until I turned on Fox News, and all weekend, and even today, Greg Gutfeld, he was such a wonderful man. Oh God, I loved him so much. You did? Greg Gutfeld, you loved John McCain? Neil Cavuto? Well, maybe Neil Cavuto. But some of these other guys, are you kidding me? You know, John McCain's last picture that I remember is him in the Senate doing this. And making sure that Obamacare stayed. That's John McCain's legacy. But there's a book written by my friend. Doug thinks I'm a fool. Okay. That's fine. There was a book written by a friend of mine named Orson Scott Card. And the book was called The Speaker of the Dead. And in The Speaker of the Dead, instead of coming out and just saying the glowing, glorious things about the person that passed away, somebody would come up and tell the truth. Now, I'm not sure people can handle the truth today. And I'm not sure that it is the most important thing. But I get, hey, did you go and watch his car go down? His car passed my house on the freeway, which is about a mile away, maybe a mile. Did you run out to I-17 and go see the motorcade? No. Well, you're going to be in D.C. on Wednesday. Are you going to go and see him in the rotunda? Probably not. All right, here's what Michael says. Wow. Conservatives are supposed to be built on class and Christian values. For what I see here, most of you are schmucks. Okay. At this point, I don't know what I've said really positive or negative. I met him a few times. He was never nice to me. I found him very arrogant. And here's the thing, these guys that are, accusing me of, you don't support him as a war hero. My father was killed in Vietnam. So I do understand sacrifices that happened in that war. Okay? It has affected my life, my entire life. But I'm looking at a guy who, more than, as Terry says, he was a Democrat in Republican clothing. This is a guy who was censured here in Arizona not that long ago for not supporting conservative values. This is a guy who in his final statement said, yeah, my friends, we need to not build walls. Really? You did a whole campaign when you're running for Senate. Build the damn wall. The guy literally destroyed the career of J.D. Hayworth because J.D. had the gall to go up against him and run for Senate. Kelly Ward, same thing. And I'm looking at a man who, yes, he loved the United States Senate. Loved it because it was the elitist of the elite clubs. He was an elitist. He attacked Bill Cunningham for daring to say Barack Hussein Obama when Obama was running for office. He attacked Bill Cunningham, talk show host in Cincinnati, but stood up for Obama. Why? Because Obama was a senator. And senators deserve the most respect because they are the aristocracies of our nation. Earl says, you really need to talk to other veterans that know him to find out what kind of person he really was. Okay, I have. Karen says, what about the men on the aircraft carrier being a smart ass that his daddy got him out of that mess? I don't know. That's one, again, I don't know about that one. That one seems, the thing on the aircraft carrier seems a bit much for anybody to have gotten out of. And I've seen a little bit of it. I've seen it before. I've just never seen any proof that it was him. So I'm trying to deal with the honesty and the truth. So here's what I want to see. Let's see. He does not just think what libs and Dems would do if our president was shot. I heard he was kind of a loner type. Yes, of course he does. Stop being mean, says Beth. Beth, I have a question for you. Are you a Democrat or Republican? Because I am seeing a wave of support from Democrats, a wave of support from Hollywood. Where were they when he ran for president? They called him all of the worst things in the world. Remember that? Let's see. Lyle says, you are a skid mark on the underwear of humanity. I'm just asking questions here. Thomas says, liberalism is terrorism, and McCain was clearly helping the left, Democrat and Republican clothing. I don't believe that. I just believe that John McCain cared more about John McCain than he did anything else. That John McCain was the leader of the John McCain party. That John McCain's actions at the end were done to try to embarrass President Trump and to try to endear himself to the left so that when he died, wall-to-wall greatness and coverage would happen. And then knowing that academia is left, that they would write positive things about him in the history books. I believe that. Am I wrong? Am I mean? He was a man no worthy of all the coverage. Bob says, let him rest in peace, he says. Kara says, as I watched the cancer take my Vietnam veteran father, I will say that it is horrible that he passed one day after stopping treatment. God bless my father with an extra 3 months. I truly feel for his family, but I've not cared for his politics or stands for several years. Diane doesn't listen to the news about McCain. When it comes on, she turns the sound off. Terry's a Republican. I am sad that anybody had to go through the pain that he went through, whether it was in the Hanoi Hilton or whether it was the cancer that he went through. And I'm not certainly, like Howard Stern, who would go, oh, I pray for cancer on people. I don't like that at all. I think that's horrible. And all of these people, the public service, it was so wonderful. I'm sorry. All these, the Kennedys and all these other people who, I live for public service. It wasn't serving the public. You wanted the public to serve you. Teddy Kennedy wasn't out there doing things for you and me. He was doing things to get more power for himself and his ego and his family. Mike says, I'm from Arizona. He was a carpetbagger, didn't do anything for the veterans in Arizona. Lyle says, I've seen hamsters storing food that don't have fat as cheeks as you. Why, thank you, Lyle. That's actually a pretty good line. Thank you. So, Lyle, how much of the Democrat Party have you supported? Are you a big Democrat, or are you more of a communist? More of a commie, more of an Antifa, anarchist kind of a-hole. That's what we should call the Antifa people. They're a-holes. Okay. What else do we got here? What gets me is I hear his wife is taking position. Now that's what I've heard too. I've heard a couple things. I'm still looking to get clarification. I have not spent a ton of time online today. But his wife, I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. You don't get to will your, here we go, Cindy McCain, Arizona governor, aims to please with McCain Ducey aims to please Trump with McCain fill-in. Arizona governor has grown closer to the White House since cautiously embracing the president in 2016, but can't risk moderate voters. Arizona Republican governor's decision to replace the late John McCain is as much about his own political future as it is about filling the seat. Republicans with knowledge of the governor's thinking says he'll have to remain deferential to Trump in the White House while also taking care not to alienate a statewide audience. Let's see here. Ducey is seen as somebody the White House could rely on to get the message. Ducey's time up. Trump endorsed Ducey in the gubernatorial primary. Top advisor says the governor will not engage in any conversations on the selection until the late senator's life is honored. Out of respect, John McCain, the governor will not be attending any campaign events between now and when the senator is laid to rest. Yeah, by the way, there is a big election in Arizona tomorrow. I hate early voting, but I had to do it. I'm going out of town. Let's see. Started out fine. His wife has no right to that seat. Is his wife a Democrat or Republican? I don't know. We don't know. Now, his wife is the heiress to, I believe it's the Anheuser-Busch bottling company here in Arizona. So there's a lot of money there. I do think it was very petty and spiteful of him not to invite Trump to the service. You're supposed to make your amends with those you've not forgiven. Ask for forgiveness, says Kara. Yeah. To me, that spoke volumes. Oh, my friend, I don't like Donald Trump, so he can't come. Okay. I think that's the part that bothers me the most right now. I mean, he can do it, but it just showed me a lot about who he is. Ginger says the man is dead. Let him rest in peace. Nicholas says, Joyce, you're an embarrassment. What did Joyce say? That was so awful. This is horrible to talk about a POW and a man who recently died of cancer. This whole discussion is disgusting and an embarrassment to the USA. Now, Joyce, actually, you and I are probably related with that last name. Okay? I'm just asking questions, and I'm also talking about what I know. And I'm also embracing the speaker for the dead philosophy in that the truth should be told, not a whitewashing of history. Now, I'm not sitting here talking about a lot of nasty, nasty things. I'm just getting, honestly, thoughts of, I think that the media has gone overboard. I think Hollywood has proven to be the liars that they are. I think the left is being as hypocritical as possible. You know, this is a guy that, you know, they just eviscerated during the Obama administration or, you know, with the election. Then, okay, during the Bush administration, he was Mr. Talkity-talk, Mr. Maverick the whole time. Didn't like anything Bush did. Then he runs against Obama, loses, and is silent for 8 years. You don't hear a peep from John McCain for 8 years. Then Trump gets in, and he can't stop talking, and everything's negative. I find that to be a problem. Carolyn says it speaks volumes. He was a traitor, died a traitor. You know, that's another one where what he said in Vietnam, that's disputed by both sides. I don't know what to believe there either. So I'm going to take the stance of, man, I know I sure as heck wouldn't want to be in the Hanoi Hilton. And I do know that he had physical damage. So I'm going to put that in the pro column for John McCain. The good part of John McCain. I'm going to give him that. Okay? I think he deserves that. I don't know enough about the bomb thing on the aircraft carrier. So I'm just going to put that in the I don't know category. But I can put into the categories of, running on repealing Obamacare and then being the thumbs down guy. Running on building the wall, then when Trump gets in to build the wall, thumbs down guy. So that's what I find offensive. And I find it very disingenuous that Fox News is wall-to-wall coverage on just the greatness of this guy. It just seems to me to be a little overboard. Should he be honored? Yes. You want to put him in the rotunda? Okay. But, 4 or 5 days of nonstop wall-to-wall coverage? I wonder if they'll do that for George Herbert Walker Bush. Maybe. George W., probably not. Wonder how they'll treat Trump. It just seems like the elites the elites take care of the elites, and nobody was more elite than John McCain. John McCain relished in being an elitist. He loved it. And anybody that wasn't the elite stature that he was, he looked down on him. And he sure loved going on liberal programs a lot more than he did conservative ones. I interviewed him a couple times. He was never cordial. Bumped into him one time at the Capitol. He didn't remember me, which is fine. I took a picture. And was begrudging. Okay. You don't have to be having a good day every time you bump into me. That's understandable. I just don't know how you call somebody the conscience of the Senate like they did Teddy Kennedy, who murdered a woman in Chappaquiddick, or John McCain with the Keating 5 scandals and a lot of other things. How do we hold them up as extra special? And that bugs me a little bit. But I'm not going to sit here and say horrific, horrible things. I just think the media coverage is too much. Do you agree with me the media coverage for John McCain's passing is too much? Thumbs up. Or if you disagree, no, I think the media coverage is fine, Rusty. You're being mean to John McCain. Get that frowny face. Let's see some votes really fast here before we shut things down. Yes, I think John McCain's coverage is too much. Thumbs up. No, Rusty, you're mean. Frowny face. My friend. All right, anything else going on in the news while I'm waiting for your votes? Let's see here. I would bring it up, but for some reason I'm having a little computer problem going on. Alec Baldwin to play Batman father as a Trump-like figure. Well, now we're going to ruin Batman. Thank you. Oh, here's the other thing that tells me a lot. Did you see who the pallbearers for John McCain are going to be? Warren Beatty. One of the biggest liberals ever. Warren Beatty. Did the movie Reds about pro-communism. Warren Beatty. He's going to be one of John McCain's hand-picked pallbearers. Who else? Joe Biden. Okay. Gary Hart. Senator whose career was destroyed because he was fooling around with chicks on boats. He was the Bill Clinton of his time. Okay. Billionaire Michael Bloomberg, the elite of the elite, a guy who went from a Republican to basically a Democrat and then wouldn't leave when his 2 terms in office were up in New York and changed it so he could run for another term. Okay. Barack Obama is going to be speaking. Donald Trump's been asked not to show up. Jeff Flake will be speaking. Jeff Flake can't even run for office here in Arizona again. Too liberal. Meghan McCain, of course. George W. Bush. Interesting. Henry Kissinger, Lindsey Graham. Here's some stories about him and Lindsey. Just saying. Joe Lieberman, and that's a good one. And Kelly Ayotte. And again, I'm not a guy that doesn't like reaching across the aisle. I actually think that's good. The problem is John McCain was never happy unless he reached across the aisle and then just stayed there. He fell for the Democrat position every time. You know, the McCain-Feingold Act that was supposed to fix campaign finance reform was nothing but the Incumbent Protection Act and has proven to be such in the years following. Anyway, I'm out of time. I will be here tomorrow. And then Wednesday's my birthday. I'm flying to Washington, D.C. I may get to D.C. in time to do something. I'll be in D.C. on Thursday and Friday. Not sure if I'll have time to do a show, but if I do, I will. Do me a favor, would you please? Would you please support our sponsor, Virtual Shield? Go to virtualshield.com/Rusty. It is so important that you have a virtual private network. If you don't, you are really, really putting your data and your security in jeopardy. Use my name, Rusty, and checkout. Get 20% off, okay? Also, we want to thank our nice friends at LibertyOneTV.com. Have you gone to LibertyOneTV.com? Have you checked out the swag in the checkout? Use promo code Rusty. They'll probably give you a deal. All right, do that. Have you shared the video tonight? Share the video. Share the video. Do that. And thank you, Liberty One TV and Right Wing News. May God bless you. May God bless America. And we do pray for John McCain and his family. See you next time. My name is Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.